Can we have a round of applause, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. So thank you so much one more time to all our delegates, dignitaries and our media partners. Moving forward for the welcome speech, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Rajendra Sorankar, the Chairman and CEO of RRP Electronics. His forward-thinking leadership and commitment to excellence have been pivotal in steering RRP Electronics towards groundbreaking innovation, setting the stage for transformative change in our industry. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Rajendra Sorankar. Let's have a big round of applause. Welcome, sir. One more time.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and special distinguished guests from DECA Technologies USA, Tim Olsen and Robin Davis. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion, and thank you all my RRP guests, my RRP employees, the press, my special associates from CBB, and my special investors led by Naidu. A very good morning to you, and thank you very much for being a part of this occasion. So I think this was the need of the hour, that we wanted the founder of DECA Technologies, Tim Olsen, to be here and express and explain that what RRP and DECA are doing today, probably, with all due respect, is not yet being done in India, and probably for many more months. So DECA, while we all know that the state government has approved our project of 12,000 crores for OSAT, to explain, Tim, it is 1.5 billion US dollars, and the second phase of 24,000 crores, which is $2.5 billion of setting up a fab. This was approved by the state government, and we already started our OSAT facility on the 18th of September under the blessings and guidance of our strategic investor Sachin Tendulkarji, who graced the occasion the other day, and since then his blessings has taken us to a different level. But coming back to what DECA and RRP are going to do is something different. So, which is why Tim always told me that, you know, we will not call this as an OSAT facility, but we will call this as an advanced application foundry, actually. So, which means that we will be doing something which is a very unique technology, which Tim is going to explain more. Which is what we do, something which is called as adaptive patterning, and which will add a lot of value to our setup in the coming times. A complete automated facility, which we should be starting work in the next month or so, and within 9 months we should have this facility up and running. Coming to the visions, I think everybody has a vision, and we all have to have a vision. RRP always had the vision, under the blessings of our mentor Dr. Anil Kakodkarji, that we need to create something different than the others. Most of the semiconductors facilities that are presently being targeted to set up their OSAT and the foundry, and obviously now the state central government is also promoting compound semiconductors as one of the fab setup, which obviously has a lot of applications. Our vision is something different, and the vision, I mean, is always defined by an altitude. We can go higher and higher and higher. So we are going very high, very high. So much so that if somebody is thinking of a drone, we are thinking of a satellite. So that's what our altitude of vision is. And this is only possible because of the technology that DECA is bringing into India. And so we have to give a round of applause, a warm welcome to Tim and Robin, who have come all the way and brought this technology, which is almost, DECA has been a founder, Tim has been a founder for almost 3 decades, probably maybe more, but India under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, who actually has brought this concept of the subsidies into India, has now helped us to get a technology which is readily available on our platter, which otherwise, with all due respect, would have taken India probably another decade to set it up. So we have to really thank Tim to have unconditionally come ahead. We are signing an official MOU today. We will be doing a technology transfer license agreement, and we are hopeful that we should have a complete automated plant by the end of this year. And such plants, Tim obviously thinks that we can generate a significant revenue of starting from $30 million per year. I will not talk more about the technology because it's his property. When we sign the TTLA, we will be partners, but right now we are still partners. And I wish all the best to my team of my college friend and the one and only one who could make this possible of setting up the OSAT facility, Mr. Prashant Deshmukh, wonderful gentleman and a very powerful technocrat. He speaks less, he performs more, we speak more, we perform less. And obviously aided by Prashant, by Shikhar, Apurva, Virender Singh, LM Singh, Izwan, and the other entire team. I can see Bala also over there, who is a specialist wire bonder. He's been imported from Chennai, actually. So thank you very much, and I think I will now hand over the stage to the guest, the host, Mr. Tim, who is actually doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much.
Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of DECA Technologies, Mr. Tim Olson. Let's have a big round of applause.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you, everyone. I'm very impressed by this gathering. I had no idea we have such a large people, Raj. It's very nice to see you all. I think what we're doing together, DECA and RRP, is creating the future of India. You guys are going to be at the forefront of the most advanced packaging, advanced interconnect that goes in Apple iPhones, it goes in automobiles, it goes in satellites and drones, and all types of things. So it's a great opportunity for you to get a leap ahead as we bring this up. Apurva, can I show my slides? Oh. Yes, I need to advance. So I have just that.
Excuse me. It is coming in the front. Tell him to sit in the corner. It is coming in the front.
So I just have a handful of slides to help explain a little bit more about what is DECA first, and then mostly what is the technology. So one slide on DECA. We started in 2009. Cypress Semiconductor was one of the leading pioneers in Silicon Valley in the US. That's TJ Rogers in the blue jeans next to me in his vineyard. And our first round of funding was $100 million, quite a bit for a small startup. And SunPower, who was the #2 solar power company at the time, also invested in DECA. And some of the processes that will be implemented in RRP actually came from SunPower, from the solar industry. So it's kind of an interesting situation. In 2013, the gray bar, we introduced the two technologies that we're talking about today, which is the M-Series fan-out and adaptive patterning, which is a real-time EDA system. It's the only system in the world that designs during manufacturing. And it's taken a decade, but those technologies are now, as we'll see in another slide, #1 in the industry in terms of acceptance and volume. In 2016, Qualcomm, who some of you might know, very significant leader in smartphones and other things, they decided they liked our technology. They invested in DECA, and they convinced ASE in Taiwan. ASE is the biggest packaging company in the world, as you might know. So ASE built a factory in Taiwan to implement DECA's technology for Qualcomm and others. And that started in 2016. It went to production in 2018. Raj is a little more aggressive. He wants 1 year versus 2 years, but we'll see if we can do that. In 2020, we transitioned to a technology company where we transfer our technology to others. I should have mentioned in the beginning, we built a large factory in the Philippines where we created this technology together with our US headquarters. A company in Korea called Nepes took over that factory and continues to run it. Nepes is a big supporter of Samsung. They're one of Samsung's key outsourced partners. In 2022 is the year that our technology became #1 in the industry in terms of this type of packaging technology. And we started introducing other folks like Skywater, which is a foundry in the United States, and Arizona State University, which is one of the leading universities in North America, is putting our technology inside a fab, and students, undergraduates, masters, and PhDs will be learning about advanced packaging based on DECA's platform. So, pretty cool. And if you're wondering our name DECA in the bottom, DECA comes from the Greek DECA, from the decimal system of 10. And what we do at DECA is, we like to say we have 10x thinking, meaning we're not a little bit better than others, we're at least an order of magnitude better. So that's where DECA comes from. We have some very impressive companies that are on our board of directors and own the company. Cypress was acquired by Infineon, a large company from Germany. So they're our largest shareholder. Qualcomm is second, ASE, Nepes, and Maxeon is what became SunPower. So we have multiple multi-billion-dollar owners of that. And we've received lots of awards. You can go Google or whatever search engine you use, and you can see a lot of the things that DECA has won in the industry. So as mentioned on the first slide, there's two fundamental technologies we created. The first is the M-Series fan-out. And on that picture, the lighter gray color is a semiconductor chip. This happens to be a PMIC, a power management IC used in the iPhone. And you see the two solder bumps up on top. That's what hooks up to the phone motherboard or to the computer or the car. So our technology in this example is very simple, but it's mold compound around the die with interconnect layers and dielectrics that you can't really see in that cross section. But even though it looks very simple, there's a lot going on with the technology. And adaptive patterning is, again, the system that does real-time design during manufacturing, because often in manufacturing things move a little bit. So this allows the design to actually move with the natural variation of manufacturing. And on this slide, you see the iPhone-like part on the left. You see more complicated parts as you go across. And I think Raj will, RRP will hopefully be coming up with some of the parts on the left first to get everything up and running. But then as you advance to the ones on the right, and even more beyond that, you'll be in electric vehicles, you'll be in artificial intelligence, you'll be in a lot of cool applications. And speaking of cool applications, if any of you have an iPhone 14 or newer, 14, 15, 16, these parts are in your pocket. And if you have an iPhone 6, you have at least one part from DECA. So from iPhone 6 all the way to 14, our part count has gone from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5. And there's actually 6 in iPhone 16. So pretty cool. These are Qualcomm devices with M-Series and adaptive patterning put around them. And you can read what they are. Well, you can't read what they are. It's hard to read. But they're power management chips. They're audio codec chips. And this one in the bottom with the red and green and blue lines around it, that's an envelope tracker. That's a key part of the RF signal. So when you're talking on your phone, it's optimizing the bandwidth, the band it selects, as well as the bandwidth and frequency of your communication to your cell tower to help optimize battery life and also give you a clear signal. So that's a very, very critical chip. We actually have one of those chips over there by the cameraman. So some of you would like to see it. We really need a microscope to see it properly, but a real part from the iPhone is there. And then this slide talks more about the patterning, where we adjust the design during manufacturing. And if you look at the far, your right, again, is that one example device from Qualcomm. It's called the QET7100. And there's a bunch of stuff on the internet about this as well. But that's a dual die part put together with M-series and adaptive patterning. And if you look closely at those pictures, you can see that the design is actually moving with the chips. But I think it's probably a little bit hard to see from where y'all are. And my last slide is just to explain what's happening with this technology. So starting with the MCSP here on the left, that's what's in the iPhone, those type of parts. The one on the bottom, that's what goes in a Dell computer or some other applications like that. The POP that you see on the bottom right, that could go in a phone as well, a smartphone, as well as IoT applications, medical sensor applications for MRI and ultrasound and things like that. The MDQFN is a very interesting twist on our technology. So most folks in the world build QFNs with die-bond, wire-bond, lead frame technology. But with the fan-out technology, you can actually build it cost-effectively in a much more flexible way than you can with the old-fashioned QFN. And on the top right is a very, very high technology version of our technology, and that's called MFIT, M-Series fan-out interposer technology, and that's what powers artificial intelligence. So soon, hopefully by later this year, there'll be teardowns of one of the leading manufacturers in the world using this technology to put AI devices together, GPUs and memory. And we have more things coming with MDX. So before I close, I want to just show you something. If later on when we have a break, if you want to come up and take a look